12 versus open. You did so well. Some think that you probably leaning now more towards doing more open shows and maybe leave 212 behind. But I know that you may have a slightly different thought process. Where are you with it?
I mean, everyone's asking what's the plan, and I haven't officially announced it. I guess publicly, this will be the first time probably. But no,
What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video and another daily bodybuilding news live. And thanks to all you guys who are supporting this video series. There are daily bodybuilding videos going up from myself, Xavier Wills, at Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are live 6 days a week. And make sure you check out all the other content as well. But let's get into this one. So we're discussing Hidetada Yamagishi coming back to the stage. Which contest is he doing? And he'll be 50 years of age when he does come back. Nick's big focus for the Olympia. Shaq, is he natty or not, with some recent physique updates. Also, Nick Walker's tragedy, what went down. Dave Palumbo, a surgery update from him on his open heart surgery. Quinton Eriya, what is his real weight after it was reported that he was 350 pounds. And Shaun Clarida speaks on whether he'll stay in open now after doing the Arnold Classic and obviously winning the Legion the year prior. Will he stay in open or will he go back to 212, and what his plans are there? So let's get straight into this one. So we've got a whole bunch of news, and we're going to start with Hidetada Yamagishi making his comeback to the bodybuilding stage where he's competing, plus much more. So let's get straight into that. And also before that, if you like and appreciate this content, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any of the bodybuilding news live videos. So let's get into this one.
Where I come from, my always say, don't forget where you come from. This is where I come from, and I love bodybuilding, and I wanna, I can still function. I can still, being healthy. So let's do one more shot. I'll be 50, this June. So wow. The show is on August 25th. So I'll be on stage at the age of 50.
So is this your announcement? Did you tell everybody you're going in the Olympia? Because
no,
I wasn't.
This is my first announcement.
No,
yeah.
So this podcast only has probably about 700 views right now. So this is actually not even really that well known right now. So Hidetada Yamagishi is a phenomenal competitor. And stick around to the end of this video because I'll show you some of his posing as well. He was a master poser, so I love that he's coming back. Now let's find out which class he's doing at that Masters Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, so they don't pick anyone yet. They will pick athlete on April 25th. So it's not really official, but I already submit my application.
So it looks like that Hide is going to be able to get that approval to actually be able to do the Masters Mr. Olympia. Now he's going to be doing the 212 that contest as well, which I think is a great move. And there's a ton of names that can actually rock up and do this contest, because you've got obviously Hidetada Yamagishi. You've got guys like David Henry who can go into the 212 at Masters Olympia. Maybe even a Kerif Badger. I'm not sure how old he is right now, but he'd be sort of pushing that 40-year-old mark. And there's a ton of guys. Eduardo Correa, who actually, I believe he competed at the Olympia this past year just gone. So obviously he's a candidate for that as well. So there's a ton of names that can jump into that Masters Olympia, not just in the open, but also in the 212s now, especially if they've made that weight adjustment too. But in our next story, let's get to this one, because this one is, I'm trying to remember which next story this one is, but we'll get to it and we'll start playing it. And then we'll find out pretty quickly after that which one that actually is. Sorry, I've got a 10-second thing here.
We're done with the show. Did you think to yourself, I'm going to just continue to keep on open? Or where are you with that right now with this 212 versus open? You did so well. Some think that you probably leaning now more towards doing more open shows and maybe leave 212 behind. But I know that you may have a slightly different thought process. Where are you with it?
I mean, everyone's asking what's the plan, and I haven't officially announced it. I guess publicly, this will be the first time probably. But no, I'm staying in 212. For sure, and the goal is to win multiple titles here. Of course, I like to dibble and dabble at a few smaller open shows, maybe another Arnold Classic, but just by me doing the Arnold Classic and doing well is not enough for me to just leave the 212. I'm realistic. I said if I couldn't win the Arnold, then what's the point of me moving on from there? You know, if I had won the show, maybe it'd be a different discussion. But I didn't. You know, so here I am now, and I'm prepared to defend my title at the Olympia and to hold on to my title at the Olympia. Like I said, I still want to do a few small shows here and there throughout the year. I think it's fun. I love to compete. I love to travel. But the 212 is my home. It's in my heart, and it's something I want to, when I walk away from, I want to walk away as one of the best to ever do it.
I love that. The fact that he wants to be the best that ever does it. Also, the fact that he's still going to do open shows too. This is the best possible scenario for bodybuilding fans, because Shaun Clarida doing the 212, continuing to do the 212 Olympia, and also jumping in open shows, he can still progress as an open bodybuilder. So I love this for Shaun. The fact that he can retain his title as the 212 Olympia, and that's no easy feat as well. Even though you might say that he's the dominant champ now, that doesn't mean that Keon Pearson isn't going to come in at his best. There's always can be new names that come up. So the fact that he wants to be the best that has ever done it, Flex Lewis has 7 212 Olympia titles. Shaun Clarida has 2 right now. He needs another, what is it? He needs another 6 now to actually jump ahead of Flex Lewis. Or does Shaun Clarida have 3? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. He has 2 or 3. He obviously won that first one. He obviously lost his title, won it back. So he has 3. So he needs 5 more, I think it is. Regardless, 5 or 6. He's 40 years of age right now. So Shaun Clarida is going to have to be competing till about 45 or 46. He can do that Masters Mr. Olympia at the same time as well. He might be a Masters Mr. Olympia champ, a 212 Olympia champ in the same year as well. He can do that 212 Masters Mr. Olympia, I believe now, or at least next year. And I think that Shaun Clarida, if he can go and win, you know, if they continue to do this Masters Mr. Olympia, if they do this for, you know, every year, he could end his career as maybe a 5-time Master Olympia champion, plus an 8-time 212 Olympia champion, plus Open Pro contest winner. This is going to be a huge feather in his cap, and he can be one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion, in bodybuilding. There's a little bit more to listen to here, I believe, and we'll play that.
But you're going to try to continue to keep going with the 212 wins and be the best ever. So you want to try to beat Flex Lewis's record?
Yeah, I mean, I love Flex to death, but the goal is to win, beat his record. Absolutely. When I walk away from this, like I said, I want to be one of the best who have done it and be one that has the most wins here. Absolutely.
Well, and that sustainability is next level because there's one.
So very, very cool to see that sort of, I suppose, the conviction from Shaun Clarida. And he's one of these guys that is so driven. Without his belief going into that Arnold Classic, he wouldn't have placed 5th place and been challenging Ronnie Coleman, Big Ramy, who he said was 308 pounds. I heard 306, but regardless, Shaun says he was 281 in this interview as well. All the links to these videos as well are in the description below. But let's move on. Let's get into our next story. And I believe the next one is about Quinton Eriya, and he gives his real weight. So his coach came out, Matt Jansen, and said 350 in the comments of something when someone asked for the weight. But Quinton has something else to say here. So let's listen to Quinton. I believe it's here.
318 pounds.
So he says 318 pounds, and you can see him on the screen right now. And he is about 6'2". So that's why I was like 350. Now, it is absolutely enormous, but look how big Quinton is, but you do factor in the small waist, but then you factor in the big legs, and big legs add a huge amount of weight to a physique. I remember when Antoine Valiant and Quinton was sort of bulking up a couple of years ago, and they both got into 310s, 315 sort of weight range, but Quinton is by far his biggest ever, and very, very impressed with his current physique updates. But let me know your thoughts on Quinton Eriya. Do you believe he's 318 pounds? Do you think he's heavier? What weight do you think he is at right now? And how do you think he'll go this year as well? But let's get into our next update. And that update is on Dave Palumbo. He had his open heart surgery. Many people know this. Many people knew he's going in for this surgery. It says Dave's procedure was successful. He is now in recovery. Thank you all for your support and warm wishes. Now, this is awesome news. Dave Palumbo has always been very, very good to me. And I actually said yesterday, I said, he's got a good heart. And then someone commented, and I was like, oh, what's someone saying here? But it was actually quite funny. They said, obviously not. They said they've got a sick sense of humor. So, but yeah, glad to see Dave is doing well. And if anyone's going to appreciate that sort of comment, it's going to be Dave Palumbo. Let's move into our next story. This is about Nick Walker, and this is the story about his tragedy. I've seen some people in the comments possibly suggesting it was disrespectful when I put Nick Walker's tragedy on the thumbnail and Nick Walker's heartache. And I think some people read it as heart attack, and I did not intend that whatsoever. But unfortunately, Nick Walker's dog was hit and run. Incredibly sad, incredibly unfortunate, and my heart goes out to him because that's really, really tough. You know, like Nick Walker, you could tell we absolutely loved his dog. He posted up this and said, "Thank you everyone that showed support about Thor and expressing their stories as well. This is very hard. The support has been greatly appreciated." So heart goes out to Nick Walker, but we also do have an update from Nick Walker as well on what his focus is for the 2023 Mr Olympia, and we get to find out a little bit about that, and we get to see this video update as well. And the focus is clearly the quads. And it seems like when Nick Walker puts his focus into something, he seems to just improve it, and just get better and better. Also, guys, leave your questions in the comments below as well. And you can see his, I suppose, his workout plan here. Many people have asked about his training app that he uses, and he posted that on his story the other day. But Nick Walker is looking very, very impressive right now. The fact he's come out of a contest and he's straight onto it again, it leaves a question: how is Nick Walker going to do for the 2023 Mr Olympia? Because I can't imagine Nick Walker finishing outside the top 5. Many people are sort of relegating him behind guys like Samson, Andrew Jack. People think he'll be better and jump over Nick Walker. Then you've got guys, obviously, you've still got a huge amount of good guys up there. You've got Big Ramy, who could come back and be his all-time best, maybe. You've obviously got guys like Brandon Curry, who finished second in the Olympia, or won it, I think it was 3 or 4 years in a row, and last year he slipped to 4th, but his conditioning wasn't the best. If he comes in better conditioning, Brandon Curry's forgotten about, but he was big at that last Olympia, so he can definitely come back. But the way Nick Walker's looking right now, I think he's going to easily slot into that top 5, and I think he can challenge. I honestly think he can win the Mr Olympia in 2023, but let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below as well, and get your questions in now if you have any questions. I will go to your comments. It looks a little bit more hostile in the comments today. You guys discussing, I think some people actually thought Nick had passed away. When I said Nick Walker's tragedy, I did not mean that whatsoever. Oh, someone's up. Yeah, some people are upset. Some people say they're going to tune out of my videos, but obviously mean no disrespect by this to Nick Walker. It's basically just Nick Walker's tragedy and what went down, and some current physique updates. But let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. And I'm going to pull up some video of Hidetada Yamagishi, who's a phenomenal bodybuilder. And yeah, just really, really impressive. So I'm so glad this guy's coming back to the stage. So I'll pull this up on YouTube right now for you guys, and you can let me know if you think Hidetada Yamagishi will win the 212 at the Masters Mr Olympia as well. I think I must have to put him posing or something. But so impressive. So this one is from 2018 at the Arnold Classic. I'll just have to obviously mute it, and I'll bring this up for you guys so you can see what's going down on the screen right now. So Hidetada Yamagishi really is like a master of posing. And he's got a great physique. So this was from a 2018 Arnold Classic. I assume this was the 212 as well. He did win a 212 Arnold Classic title. He's a 10-time Mr Olympia competitor, 5 times in the 212 and 5 times in the Open. I believe he even placed top 10 in the Open at the Olympia, or very, very close to it at some point. And yeah, just the fact that he poses with such grace, he works so hard. He might not have a physique that he once had, but I'm very, very excited for Hidetada Yamagishi to come back once again. Anyway, guys, oh, apparently Nick Trigili was on Mutant in the Mouth podcast, so I'll definitely tune into that one and, yeah, see that, and I'm sure there's a story that comes out of that one. Does anyone have any questions? Someone saying, Noah Warham says, Hunter Labrada jumping past Nick Walker 2023 Mr. Olympia. You never know. That could easily happen. And EP09 says, I watched it. It was pretty good. So I'll definitely have to check out that podcast as well, of Mutant in the Mouth on Nick Walker and Guy Sistanino's channel. And apparently does feature Nick Trigili this week. So I'll definitely be watching that one. I feel like they put it like a question mark as a guest or whatever on their show. But if there's Nick Trigili on there, I think people would definitely want to see that, because obviously Nick Trigili reports on bodybuilding and is a polarizing figure. So the fact that he's on there with Nick Walker is definitely very interesting. And I think these guys have probably had maybe a little bit of back and forth in the past, but they definitely seem to be on good terms now, that's for sure. Nick still thinks he beat Samson. Yeah, for sure. Let me know what else comes out of that podcast, or what has come out of that podcast as well. All right. So anyway, guys, let's wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure there is a link in the description as well. You can check out all the old videos of the Bodybuilding News Lives. Like yesterday's news is still very relevant, still very recent, because I'm coming out with these every day. So sometimes when I record these, you know, you can be watching yesterday's video, but it's news from 24 hours ago. That's the beauty of doing this live. So thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. It's much appreciated. And if you do like this content, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. And one story I forgot in this video is Shaquille O'Neil. Is he natty or not? So these recent physique updates, sorry guys, I just remembered this. This is on sportsbible.com. Says Shaquille O'Neil reveals incredible body transformation. He's absolutely shredded. As you can see here, Shaquille O'Neil in this photo has definitely added some muscle onto his physique. His trainer is Rock Shabazz, who's a former IFBB pro. But he's definitely added some muscle, because Shaq always used to do the posing and it was like his physique was sort of a decent way off. But he's definitely improved on that compared to what he used to be. I'll stop this because that's going to probably demonetize the channel or something at some point. But yeah, super impressive there from Shaquille O'Neil. Let me know your thoughts. Is he natty or not? And I did pull up this as well. Testrovax. The fact that it's got Vax in the name is definitely very interesting. So it's got lower T, pick up Testrovax from basically GNC. So that's obviously a plug for that product, like a test booster. But I actually reckon that Shaq would be on some sort of hormone replacement or something, because he's definitely muscular for a 7'1" guy at this stage. And I imagine it would be hard to build muscle. It'd be hard to probably train at 7'1". Being, I assume Shaq is 50 plus years of age currently at the moment as well, but he looks damn impressive. I'm damn impressed. Let me know if you're impressed by Shaquille O'Neil and his recent updates as well. And do you think he is natty or not? I think he's on some TRT, maybe some GH or something like that. That's what I'd be doing if I was Shaquille O'Neil from a replacement clinic. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this one. Sorry, I almost forgot that story there right at the end. But hopefully you guys did get to see that and you did enjoy it. Anyway, that's it for this one. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. So for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.